Yes. Act 1. Yeah, just a little bit longer.
A little bit.
Yes. Act 1. Yeah, just a little bit longer.
A little bit.
Yes. Act 1. Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry.
I've been struggling to figure out my lighting.
Yeah.
Change the angle, put up a work light.
Something. Yep.
I think that's good.
So I printed them, so my phone can't go down again.
Too much? Too much light, you think?
No,
Oh. And if you're doing Blair Witch. I'm out. Bye.
Two minutes.
Thank you too.
Thank you too.
No, thanks. You too.
Thank you too.
Hey, does anybody know how I can make this Facebook Live public? We didn't have this problem last week, so I don't understand what's happening.
You need to
I know I
share-
had an
you need to
issue
change your
whenever
sharing settings.
Whoa, 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 whoa. One person?
You need to change your sharing settings. You're currently sharing only with your friends.
I'm sorry, Jen?
You're currently sharing only with your friends.
There-
How if I know I'm old?
It's probably somewhere in the privacy settings of Facebook.
It's on the actual post. So if you look towards the top, you see the little two people icon.
Oh, there it is. Public. Anyone can see it.
There you go.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why I didn't have that problem last week.
You probably had it to auto set last time or something like that. That
Maybe.
often happens with these.
So the good thing is it captured the whole thing and we've got it recorded so we can share it. I'm really sorry about this. And some people got the webinar link. I don't know what happened with YouTube. I'm trying to figure that out because it just basically is caught in like a constant, like trying to refresh.
Oh, it might be because I wonder if it had to do with your privacy settings. I actually don't know. That doesn't
No,
make
no, because it's supposed to be straight from Zoom that it's doing that. It's supposed to be Zoom and
Oh.
YouTube are integrated. And I did a practice one over the weekend and it went just fine.
Weird.
But it says like waiting for Meg to go live, but then I clicked through again and it just like, it showed like 2 seconds of me and Mackenzie talking and then just like went to straight like loop hell.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll go ahead and we'll get started again. Hold on, let me unpause. And we're ready. Is everybody back? Perfect.
Hello, Edith.
Hello, Peggy.
Here.
Oh, how thoughtful. Nurse, will you ask this damn hospital if they're equipped with a decent vase?
Oh, let me see. Oh, Edith, isn't he divine?
I hate that milky smell.
What's that on his nose?
His what nose? Oh, that's an ash.
It's from Mary.
All about how healthy Reno is. Not a word about how she feels. I thought she cared more about Stephen than that. She sends her love to you and John. Nurse, close that door. I can't tell you what that newborn yodel does to my nerves. What are you so down in the mouth about? I feel as badly about it as you do. But it was the thing Mary wanted to do, or she wouldn't have done it. Judging by that, she's reconciled to the whole idea.
She's just being brave.
Brave? Why would she bother to be brave with her friends? Here, nurse, he's through. I told Phelps to be sure to tell Stephen that Mary's perfectly happy. It will cheer Stephen up. He's been going around like a whipped dog.
Oh, Edith, please let me hold him.
Careful of his back, Mrs. Day.
Oh, I like the feeling so.
You wouldn't like it so much if you just had it. Oh, I had a terrible time, didn't I, nurse? Well, for God's sake, Peggy, that old battle axe didn't hurt my feelings a bit. They're all the same if you don't get peritonitis or have quintuplets. They just think you've had a picnic. Peggy, what's the matter?
Oh, Edith, John and I are getting a divorce.
Well, darling, that's what I heard.
But we didn't decide until last night.
Oh, darling, everybody could see it was in the cards. Money, I suppose.
Oh dear, I wish Mary were here.
Well, she'll be there. Oh, forgive me, dear. I do feel sorry for you, but it is funny.
What's funny?
It's going to be quite a gathering of the clan. Howard Fowler's bounced Sylvia out right on her ear. He's threatened to divorce her right here in New York if she doesn't go to Reno. And name her young customer's man.
But Howard's always known.
Certainly. Howard hired him so he'd have plenty of time for his own affairs. Howard's got some girl he wants to marry, but nobody, not even Winchell, knows who she is. Howard's a coony cuss. Oh, I do think it's screaming. When you remember how Sylvia always thought she was putting something over on us girls. Oh.
Life's awfully unattractive, isn't it?
Oh, well, I wouldn't complain if that damn stork would take the Indian sign off me.
Oh, I wish she hadn't brought up the Alps, Lucy. It always reminds me of that nasty moment I had the day Gustav made me climb up to the top of one of them. Lucy, pull off the boots. Anyhow, there we were. And suddenly it struck me that Gustav had pushed me. And I slid halfway down the mountain before I realized that Gustav didn't love me anymore. But love takes care of its own, Lucy. I slid right into the arms of my fourth husband, the Count.
Ain't he the one you're divorcing now?
Of course, Lucy. What could I do when I found out he was putting arsenic in my bromo seltzer? Ah, Lemur. Lucy, were you ever in love?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about it, Lucy.
Well, ma'am, ain't much to tell. I was kind of enjoying the courting time. It was as purty a sight as you ever saw to see him come loping across them hills, sky so big and blue, and that hair of his blazing like the bejesus in the sun. Then we'd sit on my back fence and spark. But ma'am, you know how them big, strong, red-headed men are. They just get to the point. So we got married, ma'am, and naturally I ain't had no chance to think
The
about
trouble with me,
since.
Lucy, is I've been marrying too many foreigners. I think I'll go back to marrying Americans.
Hey,
Hi, Lucy.
evening, Miss Aarons.
Hi, Countess. How's the rhythm on the range?
Gallop, 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 madly over the sagebrush. But now, Miriam, I'm having an emotional relapse. In 2 weeks, I'll be free as a bird, like that little French bastard. But whither, oh, whither shall I fly?
To the arms of that convoy up the Dude Ranch?
Miriam, Aarons.
Why, he's nuts for you, Countess. He likes you better than his horse. And it's such a damn big horse.
Well, Buck Winston is nice. So young, so strong. Have you noticed the play of his muscles? Musical.
He could crack a coconut with those knees, if he could get them together. Say, Countess, that guy hasn't been arousing your honorable intentions in you, has he?
Yes, Miriam, but I'm different from the rest of you. I've always put my faith in love. Still, I've had 3 divorces. Dare I risk a 4th?
What are you risking, Countess? Or maybe I shouldn't ask.
I mean, Miriam, I could never make a success of Buck Winston at Newport.
Even Mrs. Astor would have to admit Buck's handsome. If I had your dough, I'd take him to Hollywood first, then Newport.
Hollywood? Why not? I might turn him into a picture star. After all, my second husband was a gondolier. And a month after I married him, a duchess eloped with him. Ah, Lamar.
Hi, Sylvia. Going to a ball?
Doing the town with a boyfriend.
Where'd you pick him up?
The Silver State Bar. I'm not going to sit around moping like Mary.
Poor Mary. If her husband gave her the flimsiest excuse, she'd take him back.
She has no pride. I burst in hell before I'd take Howard Fowler back, kicking me out like that after all I sacrificed.
Such as what?
I gave him my youth.
Tell us, what else can a woman do with her youth but give it to a man?
She can't preserve it. She can't preserve it in alcohol.
But Sylvia, how could your husband kick you out if you were a femme fidèle?
Of course I was a faithful wife. What are you laughing at?
2 kinds of women, Sylvia. Owls and ostriches. To the feathered sisterhood. To the girls who get paid and paid. And you got paid plenty.
You bet I got paid plenty, the skunk. And I'd have plenty more if only I could have pinned something on him.
Didn't you try?
Certainly not. But mildly, Howard has been impotent for years.
I never got a sou from any of my husbands except my first husband, Mr. Strauss. He said the most touching thing in his will. I remember every word of it. To my beloved wife, Flora, I leave all my estate in trust to be administered by executors because she is an A1 schlemiel. Wasn't that sweet?
Hi, Queen.
Fine.
You lie.
Mary, I'm starved.
Supper's nearly ready. As my last official act in Reno, I cooked the whole thing with my hands. Didn't I, Lucy?
All but the steak and tomatoes and the dessert, Mrs. Haynes.
For you, Sylvia. From Edith.
Couldn't miss that infantile scrawl. You didn't hear from anyone?
No.
Oh, darling. Stephen's hardly worth a broken heart.
The less you have to say about me and Stephen, the better I like it.
I'm only trying to cheer you up. That's more than you do for me.
I'm doing enough just being pleasant to you.
You've got the jitters.
Hey, Sylvia, we're all out here in the same boat.
Mary's laid off on you. Why don't you just lay off her?
Oh, I'm just trying to make her see life isn't over just because Steven let her down.